Zaldrizas Buzdari Ixos Daor. In this video, I want to discuss what role the Maesters will play in House of the Dragon. I'll explain who they are and how I think they will affect the end of this story. Now, before I jump into any of that, if you enjoy my videos, you enjoy this kind of content, please slap a like on it. The like goal for this video is going to be 42069, and it greatly helps in promoting my content and helping to sort of combat YouTube's algorithm. Long night! Now, first things first, to really understand why there's like a theory that the Maesters are assholes that are sort of corrupting stuff behind the scenes, or maybe manipulating things to go the way they want it to, is an event called the Tragedy of Summerhall. So basically, Aegon the Fifth Targaryen. Now, this is 2 Targaryens removed from the end of the Dance of Dragons. So I think Aegon the Third, at the very end of the dance, is the one who sits the Iron Throne. He's the offspring of Prince Daemon and Princess Rhaenyra. So I guess you could say the Blacks who win the war. But if you truly understand Aegon, to sort of summarize exactly who he was, this Aegon the Unlikely, it's Egg from Dunk and Egg, right? So we haven't seen the completion of it, but we see him as a youth, and he travels around with Sir Dunk the Tall, and basically he goes through these. Actually, you know what? I don't even need to spend time talking about it. I've done a live stream a couple months ago where I talked about the very first book from the Hedge Knight series. So go and check that out. I'll link it down below in the description, or just go type in Sir Hunt's Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. But long story short, when Egg got older, he obsessed with restoring Targaryen power. One of the many facets of Targaryen power is dragons. He tried to bring back the dragons. That's the thing to know about Egg. So there was a Maester that was present during the tragedy at Summerhall, and a lot of what went on is actually unknown because there was like an ink blot stain that got on that message, and it's sort of like written in mystery. But just to sort of summarize here, he basically said that all of the dragons were gathered in one place, wildfire overtook everything, and it burned, and it was like a crazy event. Now, the main thing that you need to know is that in the Song of Ice and Fire series, the main one, Game of Thrones, that the TV series is based off of, the Maesters have a lot of inner workings. And this video is only going to be 4 minutes, so I don't have time to get into that. But basically, there is some things going on in the final book that lead you to believe that there's this grand Maester conspiracy. The main reason being is because the Maesters have been present through all of Westerosi history, so they get to see their record of history, at least the version that they keep in the Citadel, is sort of like a complete text. So they get to see what each Targaryen did and how the realm was affected. So there's this big overreaching mystery because of the things that they are currently doing, that they've tried to manipulate the kingdom before, and they're responsible for wiping out the dragons. It's noted that King Aegon V's Septon actually told him that whatever he was trying to do to bring back the dragons would go horribly wrong, but the fact that there's wildfire involved and that there's very few surviving witnesses just looms this air of mystery. Also, you gotta realize that Rhaegar Targaryen, who's a father of Jon Snow, was born during this time. So even if the Maesters weren't involved during this, there were several blood sacrifices that would sort of lead to the rebirth of dragons, right? So, Rhaegar had Jon Snow, and then obviously Rhaegar's sister, Daenerys, literally helped bring back dragons into the world. So you could say that the tragedy of Summerhall really had nothing to do with the Maesters on another hand, and that it was just to bring back dragons into the world. And obviously we're going to find out what happens with Daenerys and her dragon and wins a winter in a dream of spring. But really, and realistically for this show, the Targaryens are at their full power. Every single one of them rides a dragon for the most part, and the Maesters kind of don't have enough power to bring them down. So what happens, I believe, in this series is that the Maesters are going to be shown influencing stuff behind the scenes, right? So the Targaryens are, controlling the 7 kingdoms, but like with any house and power, they're going to have enemies. And I think this is where the Maesters are going to use their power to influence other houses to maybe rally against each other, or sort of sow seeds of discourse inside, different factions, whether it be the Greens or the Blacks. Obviously, the Greens are the camp that has the least amount of Targaryens in them. So if they wanted to play a hand in bringing down Targaryens, or at least equaling the playing field so that there are no more dragons. I think in this series, we're going to see some Maesters influencing Alicent, and more specifically Sir Otto, to help sow the seeds of discord and bring out the Dance of the Dragons. Now, I feel like I've done enough rambling for this video. I'm going to get the fuck out of here. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you could please do me a massive favor and slap a like on this video. Its like goal is going to be 42069. Also, you know, a Game of Thrones convention is coming. I've mentioned this in almost every single video now since we've received the news on it. We haven't known who the guests are going to be, but long story short, HBO has never officially backed a convention for Game of Thrones, literally ever. So their first one is going to be fucking massive. Obviously, a lot of people think, myself included, there's going to be a House of the Dragon trailer released with it. It's in Vegas. That is extremely far from where I am, and as you can tell from the views on my videos, my YouTube ad revenue is not enough to pay for that trip alone. So I'm asking anyone who enjoys my content, if you could kick a couple dollars to my GoFundMe to help sort of fund that trip, then I'll make it well worth it for anyone who's not able to go. All right, that's enough. I want to thank you all so much for watching. My name is Mark, and this has been Sir Hunt's Reviews. Long night, Zaldrizas, Pusdari, Ixos, Daor.